Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. Is it, do you feel comfortable saying what it is that she did?
There were a number of things, like
Why don't you
not believing what I was saying, and trashing some work I had done, not kind of refusing to listen to what I was saying, doing some stuff behind my back.
Okay, so so what I'm understanding is, in a way, it almost sounds like her not wanting to talk about this is part of the same kind of a thing that was going on, where you couldn't find a way to connect with her about things that were hard for you and how she was interacting with you at that time.
Right.
And that you really are, if you are going to be her friend, you want to have a way of having direct dialogue when there's conflict.
Yes, I would.
Okay, and the question then is what to do with the fact that she says, I don't want to talk about these things, I just want to be friends. Yeah?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I want to ask you, the last question is, do you want to focus on what you can actually do in the situation, or do you want to focus on just getting some relief for yourself so that you can feel better?
I would like to know what to do.
What to do. Okay. Who would like to be Robbie?
I can try.
You'd like to be Robbie?
Sure.
Okay. And let's pick a name for your friend. Doesn't have to be the real name.
Let's say Brenda.
Brenda?
Yes.
Okay. Do you need to ask Robbie anything to be able to play her?
I guess, Robbie, my only question is, you have directly confronted, or I don't want to say confronted, but you've just directly come to her with the fact that you want to talk about these things. Is that right?
You asked me if I directly confronted her about this?
Yeah, have you said to her directly?
I can hardly hear you.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I was asking if you have directly spoken with her and said, hey, Brenda, I want to talk with you about these things. It was that direct?
I did talk to her about it. This was about a year ago, and then I hadn't seen her very much for a long time, and she was like, no, she didn't want to talk about it. She just wanted to, get together and talk about other stuff. And then when we've been in a situation where we've been seeing each other more, at one point I said, well, that I appreciated the way that she was, being really friendly with me and stuff, but it was hard for me because I just wasn't trusting her, and she understood that, said we could take things slowly, but I haven't asked her again if she'd be willing to talk anything more about it.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
And do you need to ask anything to be Brenda?
No.
All right, so Robbie, we're going to play this and then check in with you to see if it feels realistic. And then we'll continue with it and check in with you again afterwards. So please stay on the line, and unless I speak to you, if you can stay quiet, that will help us focus. Is that cool with you?
If I can't hear, can I speak up?
If you can't hear, you can speak up. Who is it that you can't hear? Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine, yes.
Okay, so yes, if you don't hear, please speak up.
Okay.
Because if you don't hear, maybe other people aren't hearing either.
Okay, I'm just listening on the phone.
Okay, so.
Okay. So Brenda, I've been having a really great time with you. We haven't seen each other in a while, and it's been fun to reconnect. And at the same time, I'm kind of nervous about how we left things off, and so I kind of want to just take things slowly, in terms of just hanging out and reestablishing our friendship.
Well, that's great. Let's take things slowly, but yeah, I would really like to see you next week, though, and in fact, I would really like to see you every week. and just, you know, hang out and reconnect and do the things we used to do together.
So I want to pause for a second, because it looks to me like you expressed some things to Brenda, but you didn't actually tell her what you wanted.
Yeah.
You didn't make a clear request of her of what it is that you wanted. And when we express something, especially something vulnerable, and we don't make a request, the other person is likely to just say whatever they're going to say. Whatever will work for them, which isn't necessarily going to be what's going to work for you. But before we go into this, I just want to check with Robbie. Did this look realistic to you? Robbie?
Well, Brenda was the one who suggested going slowly.
Yeah,
But the problem is that for her, going slowly means that she will try to act in ways that are more trustworthy, but also kind of just not talking about this too.
Did she say this, or is that what you are interpreting?
She said, let's take things slowly.
Okay.
And she would be willing to, and she wants to act in ways that would be more, that would be more trustworthy. She said that.
Okay. Got it. So my guess is that there is stepping into the vulnerability of asking her to talk about it. That's hard for you, and let's see if we can find a way of doing that our Robbie here in the studio can do that might work for you too.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay. So let's start over, because this was a little different.
A little off. Okay. So
it might be.
So you
start.
Yeah, Brenda
okay,
starts.
Thank you.
So I'm so glad we're being friends again, and I'd love to meet up. I could do every Thursday for the rest of the month.
Yeah, well, you know, I do have some concerns about just rushing back into this friendship, especially how we left things off last year.
Oh, well then, yeah. Okay, we can go a little slower. We can just do like 2 Thursdays this month.
I think that going slowly had to do with, you know, establishing trust. That you.
But I don't know what that actually looks like.
So you do need to ask Robbie more information, I think. Because what I understood is that you will, you know, kind of like regain trust by doing, you know, maybe having other behaviors, not talking with people behind my back, or I don't know exactly what the things were, but something like this.
I can barely hear. I can hear, but it's just really hard.
Did you hear what? Okay, I'm at a loss for what to do, but.
Okay, I'll just keep trying to. I'll just work really hard at hearing.
Okay, so let me just ask you one more question. In terms of establishing trust, what do you think Brenda means about doing things more trustworthy?
That she will be more trustworthy, or that?
That she will be more trustworthy. That's what she's saying. What does she mean? Do you know?
Well, I think she's just thinking that she's going to try harder to act more trustworthy. Like she's going to do things differently.
Which would look like what? Acting more trustworthy.
I actually.
Well, I can guess she didn't say exactly, but.
Okay, so
she didn't say exactly.
So this is the kind of thing that we need to establish, because all of this so far has been so completely in generalities.
Yes.
That we don't know what is going on. So I think at this point, let's have Robbie in the audience, in the studio, try out being specific. What is it? What are the behaviors that you would like Brenda to do? Do you have a sense?
I think, yeah, I have some behaviors I'd like to see. I guess what I want to say first, though, is that I really appreciate, Brenda, these statements that you're making about really wanting to be more trustworthy. I really appreciate that. And I guess what I want to know is that what that means to you means the same thing to me. And so I want to talk about what that looks like for me, if you're willing to talk about that.